Well, it's Saturday and it's the second day of the Major League Table Tennis Cross Division here at the Rock Hill Sports Complex in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We're about to line up for 3 matches across the day on both tables, 1 and 2 here. And it's just been a really interesting weekend so far. I'm Matt Hetherington. I'm joined by Sean O'Neill. Yesterday, the East Coast just blew out the West completely. 5 out of 6 matches. It was only the Bay Area who were really on the throes of defeat that came back and won 1 match for the West Coast. Is today going to turn around for the West?
Well, one of those matches was 20-1 with the Gold Rush from Carolina. So the West has their work cut out for them, but in our first match, we're going to have some really young players. So anything's possible. It should be extremely exciting.
Yeah, so yesterday that blowout came from the Carolina Gold Rush, who have an enormous lead now at the top of the East Division with 154 points. As you said, a 20-1 point win yesterday over the Portland Paddlers. And, I mean, things for the Portland Paddlers without Cole, and they're looking like they might be in a little bit of trouble.
Well, not only are they missing Cole, they're also missing their head coach, Christian Lillaros. So team owner Idan Levy had to jump in to help them, and he's going to have to get those paddlers going, because right now they are, as you said, kind of in a funk, wondering what's going on.
A backup motor on the paddle. I mean, the interesting thing yesterday that we talked about was the Seattle Spinners lost their match. And Nikhil said to me, it doesn't matter. All of the East Coast teams have won. All of the West Coast teams have lost, rather. So nothing has really changed. That win for the Bay Area Blasters last night has made a big shift for them. They've moved to the top of the table in the West Division. So things are getting interesting. Basically, any West Coast team that can win is hopefully going to make some ground. We have today's lineup: the Princeton Revolution facing off against the Seattle Spinners. We open with Evgen Preshepa against Nikhil Kumar. The free agent Nishant Labaka is in against Andrew Sau, both youth players here in the US. And then Preshepa and Angela Guan team up for the doubles against Nikhil Kumar and another free agent.
I think that doubles team of Nikhil Kumar and Sirius Ortiz is going to be very strong. Nikhil, excellent doubles player. He's won the national title in mixed doubles with Amy Wong a number of times, but that should be a nice pairing there.
The third singles between Koyo Kanemitsu and Andre Lapchik, and then followed by the final singles, Wang Jinshin against Johan Hagberg, could also be a really interesting one, with Wang Jinshin being quite steady and spin-controlled. Hagberg is
big time, lights out, spin around.
He's the greatest showman.
And his main goal is, again, to get to the interview.
Yeah, all the way to the interview. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things play out here. Obviously, the Seattle Spinners, now having lost the top position in the West, will have to make an impression here to reclaim their throne.
And I think that Nikhil was right when he said it really does come down to each and every match, the games, because you can lose and actually pick up points compared to somebody who's losing less or the exact same amount. So this is going to be a great matchup with the Ukrainian Preshepa. Very strong backhand play, very stable, doesn't do anything too flashy, where Nikhil loves to mix it up, especially from his backhand corner. You'll see him play with side spins, a lot of chop blocks, trying to step around to get his forehand in, which can be very lethal if he can put 2 shots together.
And we did see Daniel Gorak kind of put on a bit of a masterclass here on this table yesterday against Nikhil. So it'd be interesting to see if Preshepa may have watched that or may have taken some things away from that, because I think tactically it was really one-sided.
No, it was amazing how Gorak was able to neutralize Nikhil from his backhand corner with a lot of shots, short to the forehand, deep to the forehand, and then just getting back his first loop. I would say that Gorak and Preshepa probably have the closest styles, where they both play just very control-oriented, strong backhands, a little bit more speed out of Gorak, but very classic styles of play.
So 2 players getting warmed up here. Looks like they're ready, and Nikhil wants to get rid of that ball.
There's another one in the far corner that I'm sure he's going to take care of for housekeeping.
Revolution. Spinners. First single. Revolution to serve.
So
Love ball.
Reshepa will start with the serve.
And there, right off the bat, Nikhil with a side spin backhand block that breaks away from Reshepa's forehand.
Low.
Wow, Nikhil starting very fast, very strong.
I think he definitely needs to. After yesterday's performance here on table 1.
Oh, beautiful backhand off the bounce.
I think Kumar's really set the message from the beginning that he's going to play his game no matter what.
Yeah, he's forcing it versus playing a little bit of catch up against Gorak yesterday and waiting to see what Gorak would do. He's definitely making his presence felt. Well, that's really smart, just changing up the pace, not going for a shot that really isn't there, but working the point. That was the side. Wow. Kumar out 7-1.
1-7.
Just not looking back here at all.
This is the Nikhil that we've seen at the U.S. National Championships over the last 2 years, just dictating the action, forcing his attacks from the backhand corner. Nice fading forehand.
9-2.
Of course, he also won the U.S. Olympic trial.
Exactly, going
Which was a big
undefeated.
win against Zhou Shen in the final as well.
3-9.
Yeah, I would say that was kind of his coming out party of showing the entire U.S. fan base that he was here to stay, and winning that Olympic trials was such a great accomplishment, sent him to Tokyo, being part of Team USA. Wow.
10. Ten, 4. Game spinners.
I think this is
Game
also a great opportunity. I mean, when US players are so used to seeing players like Nikhil or, you know, Kanak, those like top male players, they don't necessarily get to many opportunities to see how their level compares to players from other countries. So this is always interesting, especially for me as well, to see how Nikhil is able to play the way that he plays against players from Europe. Or
I think on top of it, it also sends a very strong message to the youth and the junior players that if you go out there, don't have fear. Play these guys, they're good, they're professionals, but play your shots, do what you can do, and Nikhil completely showed that. We had like maybe 2 unforced errors the whole game, but really strong from the backhand corner, got that going, mixed it up, kept the ball in play, and didn't overplay. Didn't try to hit the normal all-out winners on every
Game
time
2.
he touches the ball.
Spinners
Even
to
on that
serve.
last backhand, that
Love
was a
ball.
controlled backhand. He could make it repetitively without any difficulty. Reshepa with a really
Love
nice
one.
counterattack there. he knows he needs to get attacking. He's not going to win letting Nikhil dictate so easily.
Right.
And that was a great flip
1 all.
down the line by Nikhil after Pryshchepa opened up. I just like Nikhil's energy level. Regardless of who he's playing, he's always believing in
1,
himself,
2.
thinking, hey, I'm out on the table, got the ball in my hand. Why can't I do something that'll give this guy difficulty? But the back, leaving the table isn't going to work. That's what Gorak was able to get him
Right.
on his heels.
Yeah, and he was able to get the ball out wide to Nikhil's forehand before driving him back. I think Pryshchepa has tended to focus more on the backhand side, which
is normal. I mean, that's where you would think the person's a little bit weaker.
Right. And, you know, Nikhil's less aggressive there, but has much more variation.
Right.
It's kind of like Pandora's box.
Yeah. When Nikhil steps around his backhand, his cross-court inside-out, like we saw right there, is a lot more difficult to control and read where he's going. I think Pryshchepa's backhand, if he could just play that nice and strong cross-court to the forehand, he'd find that the forehand's a slightly easier place to start his attacks to.
One thing I would say is Nikhil yesterday flew in red-eye. So when he got here and he played Gorak, he was running on 2 hours of sleep. So
he didn't sleep. He didn't sleep much on the flight. We were both picked up at the airport at the same time.
Yeah.
And
So
it's the second event that he's had that happen in California. Actually, it was in Houston. I think it was the same. So,
yeah.
But he's a college kid, right? So you're supposed to be able to operate without any sleep.
He said he slept 10 hours last night, so he's certainly looking fresher out there.
We saw him sleeping a little bit in the stands during some of the matches.
You got to catch rest wherever you can.
But he does use timing quite a bit, and clearly if you're without sleep, that's something that can go really fast.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you want to win. Pryshchepa's going to have to do a lot more of this, getting that ball into a rally and do it while Nikhil's off the table. There's a deep serve, but Nikhil, great backhand loop off the bounce.
I mean, Pryshchepa has a really nice backhand over the table. He gets like good wrist, good acceleration, so he has the speed, but we've just seen the majority of the time he's not playing that wide forehand corner.
And it looks like he's just waiting to see what Nikhil's going to do. He's still playing a little bit of catch-up. Nikhil is choosing where the balls are going. Pryshchepa's just reacting.
So that kind of backhand 2/3 for Nikhil, especially like, yeah, even across the middle, it's a really dangerous place to start the rally. Got to get the ball out wider to the forehand.
And there you could just see Nikhil, he steps around, he's got both lanes to go, just takes it to the open court. Excellent positioning. And he doesn't have to overhit the ball, he can just play it at a comfortable zone. Again, but this time Pryshchepa, and then Pryshchepa over.
That middle third of the table is, you know, Nikhil's going to step around and play forehand there every time. Pryshchepa's got to get the ball out wide to the forehand more often.
Oh, what a nice fade there.
9-7.
Check your elbow. That was torqued really on the inside out.
I mean, when you're playing a player who everybody knows is anchoring that backhand 2/3, you've got to go for the other third.
I mean, you just see Nikhil controlling. Even though he lost that point, he's controlling the triangle from down the line.
Right.
Hypotenuse cross court. And if he's in this angles the whole time.
Getting mathematical out
there. I mean, but it's like you've got to break that angle and get out to the forehand. Otherwise, he's going to just control you left and right. That's much better there.
9-all.
Big fight back for Pryshchepa to even it up here at 9-all. He's been outplayed this whole game, but smarter plays than game one when Nikhil just completely took over.
9, 10.
Big point for Kumar, and he knows it.
Again, Kumar needs to stay up to the table. Those shots have such more bite when he's doing it off the bounce than from the backcourt.
Princeton really confident against the chop blocks or those kind of strange variations. He has the time.
Golden point.
And Kumar actually
11,
set
10.
things up pretty perfectly there. He
revolution.
got the return that he wanted. Just popped the ball a little bit off the side of the table.
Seems that if Nikhil could have stepped around this, the forehand down the line would have worked so easily. Playing it out to the forehand. Princeton evens up this match at 1 game apiece.
I mean, that should tell you a lot. I mean, for Princeton to come through and win that game, playing the way that he was playing, or playing the, I guess, the tactics or the placements that he was playing, if he can still come out and win, if he goes into game 3 and changes things up a little bit, then
Could be a similar
right
from the first game, but just upside down.
Yeah.
So tactics for Nikhil, just stay a little bit closer. Just
Third game.
don't float back.
Revolution to serve.
Princeton needs to play his
Double.
backhand out to the forehand as much as possible to get Nikhil off balance.
Let.
And there's the backhand out to the
One.
forehand
Love.
side.
That change in angle just makes all the difference.
That's why
One.
you see a lot of
All
times when Princeton will play his forehand, he will try to go on the inside out a little bit again, going more to the middle, getting out to the wide forehand. It's not an easy angle to create.
I mean, Nikhil's stance on the table, where his feet are placed, is quite wide. Takes up quite a lot of space. So he's always conscious of the opportunity to step around and making sure he has
1,
enough space.
3.
And again, you will see and hear Nikhil's intensity right from the first point. Not
2,
necessarily a bad combo. Nice deep push off the bounce. Just has to put more spin on his ball to bring it down. Oh, and Princeton with a nice backhand. Block off of a very strong forehand from Kumar. Just added a little bit more topspin on that block. Sent it back with some pace.
3 all.
Both players playing exceptionally well here in game 3.
After
3.
yesterday's matches, Princeton Revolution are actually at the bottom of the East Division table and 7th overall. Chicago Wind moved up after their win yesterday morning.
And the beauty of the cross division,
Ends.
everyone getting a chance to play common partners, common opponents, I should say.
Three,
So
5.
coming up in the second singles match, Nishant Labaka, free agent for the Princeton Revolution, is taking on Andrew Sau, who a lot we could say about him after last
3,
match in
6.
the West Division.
And Kumar has created a little separation here, keeping the ball in play. Princeton having some forehand difficulties. Again, forehand just
7,
going
3.
long.
Seven, 3.
And early in the bounce. Kumar just changing things up with the backhand. Also, he's playing that angle to make it even harder for Prashepa to get the ball out to his forehand. Oh, almost.
I thought Nikhil was going to try to smash that ball because it was kind of hanging in the air there. He went straight up with it. It's one of those make or break points here. If Kumar can get it, he'll have a huge amount of space.
And again, going for that wide angle. It's all about margins at this stage of the game.
Prashepa still looks confident. He's just got the ball in his hand, serve only kind of a mini breakdown. And that's the Prashepa backhand. A lot of topspin Nikhil off the table, trying to stick a block.
Prashepa mounting some pressure.
That was a great step around.
9-6.
That postural adjustment and shift of balance from Kumar was just enough.
Great shoulder rotation. Weight transfer even at the last moment. And then a quality serve right into that right hand hip.
So multiple game points here for Nikhil Kumar. And he'll take the first one.
7-6.
The spinners 2-1 here with Nikhil Kumar.
Just a strong performance. I mean, the second game was very tight and close. Prashepa got a couple balls to land at the end, but for the most part, Nikhil just dictated, used his angles, got his backhand working very well.
Certainly a much more well-rested Nikhil Kumar seen back here today. Nikhil, well done. A much better start for you today. Talk us a little bit through your travel schedule yesterday and sleep patterns. There was obviously a huge difference between you being out here playing the first match today compared to yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to make an excuse. I don't think I played as well yesterday, but yeah, I flew in at like 6 a.m. yesterday and played around 4 p.m. So I didn't have as much time to recover necessarily, but okay, I forgot about yesterday and kind of focused that today's a new day and prepare again.
Looking at this last match that you played, what were your thoughts of how close you need to be to the table, how aggressive you need to be? It seemed like you really worked the angles exceptionally well.
Yeah, I think that was something about just like my game itself, regardless of who was on the other side. I think yesterday I was a little bit too passive, and I needed to take some more risk and just play aggressively. And if it goes well, it goes well. If not, it's not. But at least I knew that I had to come in today confidently. And I mean, I knew his game style also would be a little bit more with more spin and less with power. So I knew to take advantage of that and stay close to the table.
And you're obviously missing Fabiola and Jide, which is a big thing, Adi. Especially, and Adi Sareem. But for the doubles in particular, you're going to have to step up for that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think. Go ahead.
How are you feeling about playing doubles as well as usually having a bit of weight on the singles and Golden Game?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just got to focus on each match one at a time. I have performed well in other tournaments as well in the doubles events, so I'm pretty confident in my abilities in that. I think winning this first match against Prashepa and him playing as well in the doubles, I think gives me some confidence in preparation for that match, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, great job, Nikhil. We're going to let you go and towel down.
Thank you. Sweating like crazy.
Drowning out there.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to the next match here, Nishant Labaka against Andrew Sao. Nishant Labaka making his first appearance here in Major League Table Tennis, picked up as a free agent. Obviously, both Liang Jishan and Matthew DeSantala not able to make this round. Labaka is short pips forehand attacking player. He's had some really good wins. I mean, in the team tournament a couple of years ago, he beat US Olympian Lu Juan, who is formerly a Chinese national team, Chinese Super League player. He actually won 3-0 against her, which is super impressive. win, and we haven't seen her play since. So
You might have knocked her out.
Spinners,
he's taking on Andrew Sau. I mean,
serve,
really
level.
tough match for him yesterday, but I think he's excelled against the youth players. We saw him in the West Division winning against both Daniel Tran and Daryl Sau, and he moved way up in the Major League standings into the top 10 players in the division. So,
well, it's definitely going to be a battle of the forehands with Nishant smashing as much as he can when Andrew is going to try to get his forehand loop in. So see which one's able to set their game up a little bit easier. Little warning there for tossing it back or covering the ball with his tossing arm. Especially for the younger players, when an umpire gives you that warning, it can just really scramble your brain for 2 or 3 points as you're now thinking, what do I need to do to serve?
or for a whole match.
Hopefully not the whole match. There's a beautiful forehand smash by Nishant. Look for Andrew to play a lot more topspin down the line to the forehand to get out of that backhand corner.
The key for Andrew is to adjust to the pace changes from the short pips, but also playing heavy rotation without playing the ball too high. So heavy spin, lower ball.
And also if you can shorten your backswing a little bit, that'll make life a little easier because that ball's coming at you so much faster off the pips. But yeah, the slower spin, if it's sitting there, that's exactly what Nishant would love to have. You could see on that last ball, did a great job smashing at the top of the bounce.
And Lubaka had the angle.
Matt, I can't stress how great this is for these two players at this age to be able to play on home soil, Major League table tennis. This is exactly what would have forced them to have to go to Europe, possibly to Asia, to get this level of higher competition. Here we can do it here in Rock Hill. Shot with a really nice, just picking it up off the bounce.
You get tickets to see Major League Table Tennis. There's going to be events in Portland, Seattle, and then over on the East Coast, New Jersey, Florida, leading into April, all the way through to April, every month.
I would go for the 3-day pass for all the hardcore fans that love to see international play. Europe, Asia, plus the best American players. Our women on the West Coast are extremely strong with a number of players who will most likely be representing the U.S. in Paris, with Lily Zhang, Amy Wong, Rachel Sung. A nice backhand opening by Nishant.
Lubaka's off to a
this is
strong start here.
Exactly what the Revolution probably didn't expect. But when you go into the free agent pool, you want to find an effective player. And Nishant's style is definitely unique with the pips on the forehand. I love his colorful backhand as well. And there's the shot down the line. Andrew, very strong.
Andrew Sau certainly got his work cut out for him here in game one.
11-4, game.
This is a little bit of one of those wild cards where you think going into this match, Andrew probably 2-1, possibly a sweep at 3-0, and then Nishant comes out and takes game one, which is going to put a lot of pressure on Andrew, not only to win two, but to actually get that first game.
The other thing that you need to consider as well is how much practice has Andrew had against short pips. I mean, some players practice against it all the time and they're so comfortable with it. for me, he didn't look that comfortable out there. I mean, especially, you know, you have Labaka, when he hits the ball flat, it's a little bit float. There's almost a little bit of, I wouldn't say backspin, but you have to brush through the ball contact. So we saw a couple of occasions Andrew choosing to try and block the ball. The ball's just going to sink off the racket. So he definitely has some adjustments to make handling the pace.
And Nishant's done a really nice job of at least initiating that first opening on the backhand side. So he's not out here just swinging at everything. He's taking his time, which shows a lot of maturity. And I know I went to see the combine on the East Coast with Nishant there. And after the draft, he was just thinking, what do I have to do to get into the league? And now he's here. He's getting his chance, and he's really making the most of it. Saw with Sonora Silva.
Right, I was just going to say.
Came in for the Revolution, another team.
Maybe that's the pathway. You play well for the Revolution,
well, I mean,
and doors open.
Nothing better than a positive interview by winning matches in your out-of-the-pool play.
Right now, Andrew Sau just struggling. The pace has been difficult for him.
I think it's that timing that you mentioned, Matt, that pip ball is a little bit softer, kind of can be floatier, and it can also be faster, so you really have to gauge it. And Andrew hasn't figured out what he needs to do to just get his forehand under wraps. I mean, that's a great shot by Nishant.
This is the shot that Andrew needs to get in. Is the ball, that first opening from Nishant, it's a little bit slower. Andrew's got to get forward more, put a lot more pressure against the first ball of Nishant.
I was surprised on the previous point that Andrew actually pushed one ball back. I mean, that's what a pips out player loves to have, is something to work with. And now Nishant's backhand has been really serving him well in this game. And challenging Andrew, going for the big shot at 4-1. Not a bad risk to take. He lands it, game almost over then. Misses it, still has some work, but he has a lead.
2-4.
Andrew Sau, currently U.S. national champion in the under-17 age category. So certainly a bit of a favorite here.
And that's what Andrew needs to do. Establish the first topspin, especially if he can stay away from a swinging forehand smash. Oh, that's a great backhand opening. Well placed by Labaka.
Andrew, if he's going to play the short game, I'd be keeping it across the forehand, close to the forehand edge more.
Yeah, I think that would lock in where...
Look at that. I mean, that forehand flip is
nothing on
perfect. Yeah.
He should be able to backhand loop it, but the timing, still something that Andrew looks uncomfortable with. Then when Nishant mixes it up with a lot of fast and deep stuff.
4, 6.
I like that Andrew's still really trying to pump himself up. I mean, a couple of changes here and there, and he's certainly capable of pulling this match back.
And there's a perfect forehand by Andrew Sau. Set it up, got the step round, and delivered it to the perfect location right into Nishant's body.
Slightly overplayed.
I think with Nishant, although he has pips on his forehand, when he's pushing with his back and he's not digging the ball all that much, which is going to make it a little bit more challenging when Andrew wants to drive it. He's going to have to put more of his own spin on the ball. Otherwise, it can just float off the end of the table.
7-6.
Andrew Sau closes to within 1.
Timeout. Revolution.
Revolution with a timeout. Looks like Coach Habasum wants to calm Labaka down, make sure he's not overplaying, but choosing the right shot. Great opportunity for Nishant to get some international coaching even. See Andrews getting a three-headed approach with Nikhil's always there helping.
Andrew Sau's made a little bit, captured at least some momentum here in the second game. I mean, the first game was really one-sided. Andrew Sau is a player that definitely has the skills, just hasn't been able to put them together in the right ways yet. But the last few points, it's a
7-6.
glimmer of hope. This has to be his strategy. Get the ball short to the forehand. If the ball comes back short, redrop it again, put some pressure on. If it gets flipped, all he needs to do is take his time and pick that first ball.
Yeah, relax on that tack off the flip versus overplaying it. That's a great defensive stance there by Nishant Labaka. Just nice set of blocks until he can get that forehand in. You can see the ball going into the net and Andrew telling himself to spin it up.
And gets him with the forehand. Once Andrew Sau gets some momentum with those powerful forehands, it's dangerous territory for Nishant Labaka.
Andrew's footwork is so solid.
There's the pressure. I mean,
8,
just,
9.
With the forehand, you can almost let Nishant open the first ball. If your push is heavy enough,
he's not going to kill it. So when he rolls it up, there's going to be something to work with.
Right. And simple service receive error from.
Almost seems like Andrews in between shots. Should I flip it strong or should I just play it soft? And he did a little bit of both. This is where I think for Nishant, he's got to be willing to take some risk, not a crazy shot, but he's got to force his attacks, and especially his backhand's been so effective. That's not the shot.
10, 9.
Even if that lands a deep push to the forehand, isn't going to cause that much problem.
It's definitely a little bit misread by Labaka. And a great play from Andrew Sau to save the second game. Quite content to go backhand to backhand at that pace. And just waited for his opportunity to get back on the forehand again.
And you can see that placement at the end, going to the wide forehand. So smart, so patient. And just one more ball with heavy spin. Almost impossible to even track it down.
Big celebration from Andrew Sau. That was an important couple of points for him.
And it keeps the spinners ahead after the super performance by Nikhil in match 1. Looks like they're reminding Andrew he can push the ball out to the forehand side and not worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, a heavy push against short pips, you don't get as much grip on the first opening. It's kind of a negate the spin, maybe add a little bit more topspin, but it's not going to be a heavy ball. And a lot of the time, the ball kind of floats up a little bit higher. I mean, for a player like Andrew, he should be targeting that. He has such great forehand counter loops.
Game 3. Spinners to serve. Spinner. Serve.
So
Love all.
seems like Andrew Sau might have a few better tactical ideas.
Oh, great aggressive step around by Nishant.
This time Sau redirects down the line. This is the second singles match in this team tie between the Princeton Revolution and the Seattle Spinners. Revolution in red, Spinners in gray.
1.
If you're just joining us now, this is the cross division of Major League Table Tennis, with the East Coast teams playing the West Division teams.
All.
West Coast teams have plenty to prove after yesterday. The East went 5 from 6.
That's a good location for Andrew to choose. Getting it out of the backhand corner of Labaka.
Uncharacteristic miss on the forehand. As you said, though, that long push is really not going to cut it.
And now Andrew just has to make sure. A lot of these balls, they tend to not come out. He's going to finish that second ball, especially off a weak ball. Make sure you step into the ball and not reach and lift it. That's much stronger by Andrew, staying up at the table, but again, off the end.
I think in occasions like this, he's trying to apply too much pressure. Like that backhand, he really pushed through it. Once you have Labaka backed off the table, even to the mid-distance, you're in a good position already.
That's just an outstanding step around.
So players switch ends in the third game. 5-3, the lead from Nishant Labaka. Free agent for the Princeton Revolution.
3-5.
Certainly probably pretty happy with their choice right now. Up next is the doubles. It's Prashepa and Angela Guan taking on Nikhil Kumar and Isiris Ortiz.
That's going to be an interesting matchup because with Angela Guan being a chopper, points are going to be change of spin. I would say that initially I would put my money on the spinners just because Nikhil is so strong with mixing it up himself.
4-5.
Isiris Ortiz, very strong, nice classic strokes.
And that was a better handle of the timing from Andrew Sau. Just steady open on the first, gets a slightly softer ball back, and then he goes in on the next one. That's exactly the ball that he wants.
Labaka has to do a lot more on that ball right there. He's just going to roll it up. That's going to be Andrew Sau's point almost every time. Oh, just a great set of points by both players. Labaka moving the ball around, taking it out to the forehand. Great down the line, and then follows up with a quick, short hit off the bounce. Andrew catches it off the front edge of his racket and sends it skyward. Both players upping their game here in the third and final game of this match.
And And a great backhand opening down the line from Andrew Sau. Smart play, just changing things up a little.
See him touching his temple, just reminding himself he doesn't have to hit it hard, he just has to play to a great location. Same effect.
And instead of going for the big shot, he just decides to redrop. Clip the net a little bit, but turned out not to be a bad decision for him. Even if Labaka had looped that ball on,
It would have just been a
cross
soft,
court,
soft
perfect.
opening that he could have continued to play the next ball.
And again,
9.
fishing for that soft forehand opening, driving the next ball forward. Some textbook strategy here from Andrew Sau, who now leads 9-6.
Again, that reach
9, 7.
has been one of the issues with Andrew. It's not easy not to reach because when you're playing somebody with pips or like Labaka is changing the pace on the ball quite often, he's not generating a lot of force until he smashes the ball.
10, 7.
So Andrew Sau having turned things around here through the second and now the third game. 10-7. Some match points for him here.
Labaka with a nice backhand opening. He'll get a chance to even this up with his serve.
I think one of the things that stands out with Labaka is his grip on the forehand is quite rigid. So while he's able to hit the ball quite hard, short game's a little bit floaty and then doesn't quite generate as much spin on the first loop. But again, those flat drives are amazing, but not enough to get it done. Andrew Sau, 11 points to 8. Takes the last 2 to give himself a win.
But I will say that Nishant Labaka comported himself very well, taking the first game, 2 very tight games 2 and 3. Just needs to be a little bit more forceful up at the table.
Right. A great performance by Andrew Sau and a good bounce back. We'll head down to talk to Andrew. Andrew, great job, great turnaround. I think the first game looked like you struggled a little bit with his timing and with the pace of the ball. What kind of adjustments did you make, particularly through the second half of the second game and into the third?
I mean, I just slowed down a little bit because I realized he was just using my power, and he was just, because he has pips, and it was a little bit weird. It was like underspin. So I just slow down and spin and control the rally, because if I go more to his backhand, he can't really do anything to me. But if I go to his forehand, he can use my power and just play like he can win a lot of points.
It seemed also like during the exchange when Nikhil and the coaches there, they were mentioning, you know, you can play your backhand with heavy spin out to his forehand, really not be too afraid of that ball. Was that something you were considering?
Yeah, I did like a lot of times in the fifth set, and it confused him a lot because he was waiting on backhand to stay there and block or just step around. So it's good that I changed a little bit.
So now having beaten Nishant, another US youth player, and you have your wins over Daniel Tran and, of course, Daryl Sau, what kind of changes do you think you need to start making to compete more with the senior players? I know you had a tough match with Benjamin Brossier yesterday.
I think just my serve receive, because once I get into rally, I feel more confident. But if I can't receive well, then I feel less confident. So I need to get my serve receive better against him.
Well, we look forward to seeing Andrew. Great job coming back there, and we'll see you in the Golden Game.
Thank you.
I think just a great attitude, thinking about problem solving, looking for solutions to make his game better, and clearly he's got so many tools already, but just to sharpen and get that serve return. Smart idea.
All right, so we start the doubles. Remember, of course, the format is 2 singles, 1 doubles, 2 singles, and then the Golden Game.
First game.
So we're getting halfway to the halfway point of at least the individual matches here in this team tie between the Princeton Revolution and the Seattle Spinners. Prashepa and Angela Guan pairing up for the Revolution. Nikhil Kumar and Yasiris Ortiz. She's free agent with the Seattle Spinners.
Love all. Love 1.
So Yasiris is going to have to be careful if she decides I'm going to make the loop. She better loop it to the right location. Otherwise, Prashepa is going to just counterattack that ball.
Love 2.
These mixed doubles matches are always interesting when one player's a chopper because it's going to just change the dynamic so much. I just believe that Nikhil, with his all-court presence and understanding, is going to create some more difficulties with his off-pace shots and his ability to finish it when he does need to. It's one of the reasons he plays so effectively with Amy Wong. He lets her do the heavy lifting and he just does the moving of the pieces.
One of the things that could have a bit more of an impact here, I think, if I recall correctly, I'm fairly sure I recall correctly, but I think Prashepa's wife is a chopper, and I think they've played doubles before. So it's interesting to see even if you look at the footwork patterns between these two, typically if we look at other players that Angela's played with, like Jishan,
Spinner.
who we saw last time. DeSantalan, yeah, a little bit, but particularly the attacking players, when she moves back, they tend to move back with her, and you end up with players trying to attack from so far back from the table. But Prashepa's moving around her in a much better way that he can stay closer in his comfort zone.
And then when her chops do land, it puts so much more pressure because if the player pushes that ball back, Prashepa's right there to do something with it. So I've played with some choppers before, and it's a blast if you're an attacker. If their chop actually has something on it, the opposing team decides to push it back, it's like, thank you, I'm going to rip the next ball.
Well, it's time for our favorite call out of these matches. It's the MLTT Fantasy League. Slow start to the weekend for me, Sean. My picks this week were a little bit off the mark, perhaps.
I think the key is, as long as we're doing better than Evan,
of course.
That's the only competition that we're in, since we're not going for the great prizes that are available.
It's Fantasizer.com. You can join. There's no too late to join. It's a round by round. Of course, there are season standings overall, but as Evan would say, the season standings don't matter because he missed the first week. So
making excuses.
All about the weekly.
But so much fun. And
yeah, it's great fun. You get a fantasy league budget. You pick 8 players from different teams. They rack up points from their singles, doubles, and golden games, and then you get an overall point score. And there's quite a reasonable amount of people participating, and it's great fun to have a fantasy league.
And the top club is Ping Pod in New York that's going at it, and you have with Miss Ortiz as one of the coaches there. I know she's got a lot of fans choosing her, so definitely a lot of excitement.
I think actually Major League's operations manager, Mimi Bossica, at the beginning of today was at the top of this week's standings.
That just shouldn't be happening. She's getting too much insider information with all the athletes that she takes care of.
So right now, yeah, Mimi is dealing to us. She hasn't said anything yet. She's just
keeping
quietly,
it on the down low and smiling as we
10, 6.
Watch our picks take dives. And I think, Matt, your perception and analysis of Prashepa just really controlling more of the action. Look at that backhand off the bounce.
Right, yeah, and I mean, if we saw Angela playing with Jishan, that would be a horrible position for him because he would be backed off the table, trying to play backhand, and you know Nikhil and Yasiris would be trying to do something awful to put pressure on him. But Prashepa somehow stays up at the table. I mean, look at the positioning of him right now. I think their footwork is really on point.
And he's sending the spinners off the table, and his partner's the chopper.
A great start from Prashepa and Angela Guan. Princeton still trailing a little bit here against the spinners, but great to see Angela taking some attacking shots as well. I've said it before in the doubles with her. Sometimes it's tough to keep playing defensive all the time. She has some great shots. You know, this kind of backhand swipe receive with the long pips. She can get a forehand in sometimes.
It'll be interesting this game with the order change to see what Angela tries to do against Nikhil. Against Yasiris, a lot more conventional. I think her spin can overcome Yasiris' second loop.
All smiles on the bench from Guan and Prashepa. Angela, anytime she's on the table, she's enjoying and relishing the opportunity to be out there. Doesn't matter whether she's winning, losing, going to expedite after an hour-long match. She just has this kind of joyful persona.
Love 1.
So she will be one of the hometown hosts when up in Seattle. Relocated. I believe she's now working for Microsoft.
I actually heard recently that Chen Zheng, 1988 Olympic gold medalist, is in Seattle.
Yep, she's been coaching, working with some of the clubs locally.
1.
Now, Prashepa and Angela Guan have played before, and we talked about this yesterday, of the advantages of having played with someone before versus playing in a new pairing. It would be interesting to see if Nikhil and Yasiris can improve their position as they kind of get more comfortable with how they move around each other and how they formulate their tactics.
Yeah, bring the pool players that come in for doubles, that puts added pressure on them just because the importance of Major League Table Tennis, they're already nervous there, and then having to play with a partner that you've probably never played with. Oh, Angela Guan with a heavy, heavy underspin.
Giving Nikhil some trouble there. I think Yasiris has exhibited outstanding control during this match. Just steady.
And that's the issue with Prashepa. He's able to stay close to the table, and that upward lift, kind of a spin instead of a drive, he's going to go on top of it, especially on the backhand side.
Right, yeah.
If I was Nikhil, I'd be looping a lot more out to the forehand side, even if he's close to the table. And beautiful play by Angela Guan. She needs to pick those attacks.
Looks like that ball hit
into his body.
Shot.
Yeah.
This time, Nikhil going for that wide forehand angle. And switches it up down the line. Revolution still in the lead here, 6-4.
I think Nikhil realizes that this game, the ball's on his rack, and he's going to have to finish the points. Just let his partner, Yasiris, keep that spin going.
And Prashepa just holding the table perfectly. I think one of the also big differences here, having someone who's experienced at playing with choppers, be much easier for them to formulate tactics. So I think he's probably able to give more guidance, more specific guidance to Angela than perhaps someone like, you know, Liang Jishan, who's out there like, okay, can you please set me up for a big forehand?
No, it's Jishan's shots are more make and break and just going for big winners. Prashepa's going to work the point.
Kumar just a little bit too direct. I mean, he knows he's got to put the pressure on the ball forward. It's a fine balance.
I was going to say that's going to be a problem there if you do 4 pushes and Prashepa hasn't hit the ball yet.
This time, Angela Guan going for the backhand attack with the long pips.
That ball was a pop-up, and I think she just was caught surprised
Timeout.
how close to the white line it was.
So it's going to be a timeout for the Princeton Revolution. They have 2 timeouts available to them during these first 5 singles and doubles matches. Both teams have 1 remaining.
So these are the situations where I know Nikhil is so lethal, stealing games at the end by making some small tactical changes. He's going to believe anything is possible because that's his nature. It's always giving himself a chance to win regardless of his opponent or the situation. See him giving final instructions.
7-9.
This is a representative of the Dominican Republic women's team.
7-10.
Cannot be missing your serve against a chopper. They're just going to chop it back.
And a great combo from the Seattle Spinners. Nikhil getting things started. Yasiris doubling down.
And Nikhil just swatting that away, and that missed serve. Very painful.
11-8.
Catches
Game.
Ortiz in the body. It's going to be the Princeton Revolution who take game 2 in this doubles match, and that levels the team score up at 4 points each. Of course, there will be 15 points available to the teams during these 4 singles and 1 doubles. And the point differential will be very important going into the golden game. For example, if the Revolution are leading 10-5, they'll go into the golden game with 5 points. 5 is the maximum that they can start with. And the golden game is...
Yeah, Portland was happy that 5 was the max yesterday as they went into it.
Oh, yeah.
14-1 trailing.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been over pretty shortly if it wasn't a maximum of 5.
7 points to golden game victory. But it just shows you the importance of the golden game to bring matches back into
right
tightness.
Yeah, and we saw it here yesterday. The Chicago Wind off to an incredible start in the singles and doubles. The gap closed a tiny bit with the Bay Area Blasters, giving themselves at least a chance in the golden game, which then turned into winning the golden game.
Yeah, no Tao Wen-jung's sweep of 3 points
Level.
to keep them within striking range.
Love 1.
One of the things about playing these 3-game matches is it all comes down to the point. So even if it's 2-0 and the match has already been lost in a way,
1 all.
the Seattle Spinners can still maintain their lead by winning 1 game here to go up 5-4.
Yeah, we've heard from a number of players who've done well that they treat these 3 games as almost 3 separate matches instead of thinking it's a 2 out of 3 with an extra game in there. So every game is critical to go into that golden game with the maximum lead.
1, 3.
So Spinners jumping out here in game 3 with a slight lead at 3-1. Nice backhand side spin chop by Angela Guan. Playing the ball wide out to the forehand side.
All.
I think the one thing, Matt, that Yasiris is going to have difficulty with, she likes to attack. The problem is Pushepa is a counterattacker, and if she doesn't place it in the perfect location, she's actually putting Nikhil on a slightly defensive stance.
4-4. 5-3.
Spinners just holding the lead here. They'll switch sides. 5 points to 3 in the lead. Nikhil often out here controlling the field of play.
Traffic cop explaining the traffic's now diverting and changing. Now you can hear it from the spinners now, sensing a chance to take game 3.
I mean, as a free agent coming into this, every game that you can clutch is a huge help to the team.
The beauty of it is everyone's going to be in the golden game. So the fact that you're just playing doubles and not singles, your singles individual points in the golden game are still going to count.
8-3.
Oh, what a beautiful choice. Angela Guan going on the offense. Finds the forehand opening. She must have watched Nikhil play that match earlier to see that that forehand can be a target. And Nikhil with a nice loop down the line.
Then 4.
10 points to 4, and coming up after this doubles match, it'll be the third singles between Koyo Kanamitsu and Andrei Lapchik.
Then 5.
Now the spinners are looking to get 1 point on the board here. If they do, they'll maintain their lead in this team tie. 2 singles remaining after this doubles, plus the golden game.
6-10.
And the spinners are going to need to be careful. Angela probably won't be taking many high-risk shots. And Prishepa is probably going to just stay close and try to get his backhand to land.
And
11,
Angela
6.
Guan goes in for the attack but misses, and the Seattle Spinners will recoup at least 1 point here in the third game. But ultimately, Princeton Revolution, 2 games in their pocket. And I think just a great exhibit of how to play doubles with a defensive player. It's not the easiest task, but I think Prishepa was a great pairing for Angela Guan here.
Yeah, I think the Revolution have found every team seems to be fighting for that perfect doubles combination. We've seen a couple teams solve it. Croc's doing very well with Ekholm and Gorak. Of course, the Gold Rush with Mr. Enzo Angles.
Well, the Princeton Revolution have Angela Guan. Angela, great job in that doubles match. We noticed specifically playing with Prishepa, I think he has quite a lot of experience playing with defensive players. Your guys' footwork and how you moved around each other seemed almost perfect in the first 2 games. So how does it feel for you playing with him in terms of, I mean, you've played in a lot of different doubles combinations for Princeton, but this pairing for you, how is it?
Yeah, I really enjoy playing with Yevgen Prishepa. We communicate well, and he has a lot of experience. So, yeah, he knows how to move around me, and yeah.
What are your thoughts going into the golden game? Those have been so high pressured for yourself. It seems that whether you're going to go on the attack and surprise them or try to like outlast your opponent, what is your mindset for that very difficult situation?
I got swept yesterday in the golden game, so I think I'm going to learn from that and just play my usual game. I think it's a lot of high pressure for everyone, so it's a good learning experience.
And speaking of the golden game, I mean, a couple of instances, you have a lot of different tools and skills as a chopper that sometimes you tend not to use. Like you have this backhand sweep with your long pips. Great to see you getting in some more forehand attacks in this doubles match. Are those also things that you're going to try and use more in the Golden Game or in the doubles in future?
Well, we'll see about that.
It's a secret. It's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise. It'll come when it comes.
Okay.
So stay
All right.
tuned.
Fair enough. We will stay tuned indeed. Thanks, Angela.
All right,
We'll see you
enjoy
in the Golden
match.
Game.
I think what you said, Matt, you're not going to find a more positive person out there in Major League table tennis. And again, we go to Seattle. It'll be great to see her in her backyard.
Tell you one thing, my jaw would hurt if I smiled as much as Angela Guan. Right now, we go into singles number 3. It's Koyo Kanemitsu from Japan taking on Andrei Lapchik from the Czech Republic.
And I'm not afraid to say that I have
Third singles.
Koyo on my
Finish
fantasy
serve.
league.
So do I, but I can
Bravo.
also tell you that
He's not playing
he's
tomorrow.
not playing after this match. So
Yeah, he's actually playing in Austria as well. So
yeah, so he has commitments in the Austrian league, and then I believe
One,
early next
love.
year he's playing in the national team qualification for Japan. So he said 64 players play. The top 16 players
One,
will
all.
be kind of eligible to play in WTT events, and then the coach basically picks the main team lineup. But he's been playing better and better throughout the competition. He has
One,
a huge potential level that we've seen him kind of building back towards.
I think after that initial Pinto match where he was really kind of
all.
starstruck and just kind of figuring out what's going on, he's really come upon himself and really great tactics, strong force, no hesitation. All of Japan has really had a resurgence in the last 10 to 15 years from where they were back in the day.
Right. And Lapchik from the Czech Republic, he's had a couple of really outstanding matches, in particular with Sonura Silva in the West Division last time.
Four,
A really great match there. I think it's the second time that he's won at least one game off Silva.
four,
Yeah, for Lapchik, he needs to stay close to the table if he's going to land his attacks. His defense isn't nearly as strong as his offense. Very short strokes.
Great backhand punching shots, but
five.
Koyo able to redirect down the line.
Japanese players tend to have great short games. All of them with their banana flips and fades. Koyo, a lot of power on the forehand.
4, 5.
As I was saying, serve return doesn't exist.
Koyo looks pretty confused about that one. Some interesting hook serves from Andrei Lapchik. And Koyo looking a little bit on the soft side starting out here.
Yeah, his feet are flat. He's not moving as much, just kind of standing still, waiting to see what Lapchik is going to throw at him. But there's the explosive forehand by Koyo.
I think once he gets on the attack, it generally will be pretty difficult for Lapchik to keep up.
5, 7.
So Koyo taking the lead here, 7-5. Koyo just making some unforced errors. Lapchik is out there just maintaining a fairly constant level and pace. It's not a high amount of pressure, but it's just enough.
Eight, 6.
Lapchik really needs to, in that situation, be able to open up strong on the backhand side versus just pushing the ball back. It's not going to give Koyo any difficulty to drive that safe return.
9-6.
I think Koya, when he has a lead, his offense is so much more lethal. When he's trailing, he's kind of thinking, what should I do? Kind of watching the action.
Just a very indecisive serve return there from Kanemitsu Koyo. Just looked like he had no idea what to do with it.
11-7.
not able to make the footwork
revolution.
adjustments to follow up with the forehand, and Koyo takes the first game 11 points to 7.
Not a lot of rhythm in that last game for Koyo, but gets the job done.
Koyo back to the bench, watering Gatorade.
Even up at 5 apiece now.
Usually drinking Red Bull before matches, and actually one of the team owners for the Princeton Revolution, Roger Kang, has been making printed table tennis balls for the players that that have them on the table tennis balls, and he showed me a box of balls that he had with Koyo printed on it with a Red Bull in each fist. Pretty entertaining stuff. There, honestly, it's so interesting to see the different team dynamics. And for me, I feel like the Princeton Revolution just have such a great time while they're here. I mean, Jinshin and Koyo and Roger Kang were in the gym last night at like midnight.
Yeah, I saw some pictures. Commish Flint Lane showed me a shot at midnight of them getting ready and doing some extra barbell curls. But I think, Matt, your point is well taken, how the owners infuse their love of the game and excitement to the players so well. Roger's been at every event going. I keep saying, you're the official scout. Same with Andre.
So Andre Lapchik, just like the first game, off to a good start here. Gets the first couple of points against the serve of Koyo. I think Koyo just having a hard time with the rhythm.
Or lack
these
of.
rallies. Yeah, it's just a strange timing for him.
Low.
I don't think he has seen the change of pace or the timing that Lapchik is throwing at him. Really mixes it up on the forehand and backhand. And his serve's been very effective. I mean, now jumping out, 4-0 lead.
And that quick counter down the line, one of his better shots. I mean, a player of Kanemitsu Koyo's caliber, you would expect in this position, in the fourth match, and in this matchup, he should be able to get through this with relative ease almost. If you look at the match history of both of these players in the league so far and internationally as well.
Sometimes when there's a difference in level, just the timing issue can pose some issues for the higher player.
Yeah. You can look at all of the standings and stats for each player, singles, doubles, and Golden Game records, as well as email signups, merch, schedules, and live streams, all at mltt.com. It's the official homepage of Major League Table Tennis.
Of course, follow MLTT on Instagram and our YouTube channel. You can watch all the matches, video on demand anytime you want, 24/7, plus a number of great highlight points there.
I love what they're doing with the Instagram, all the behind the scenes team-oriented content for me is
5-4.
something totally different, something that people love to see. Anything that captures the personality of these players, aside from our
4-6.
post-game interviews.
Yeah, and also a number of the coaches, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, they're also posting a lot of highlights and insights for the team members going into these matches. And Koyo now on top 6-4. Make
Also,
that 7.
worth noting, as you mentioned about the coaches posting, each team has its own Instagram page as well. So if you want to cut out all of the other teams apart from your favorite, you can follow Revolution, I think it's _MLTT, Spinners MLTT.
7-5.
Team name followed by MLTT is the official Instagram page of each of these Major League teams. Andrei Lapchik hanging in here, but
You see Koyo complaining a little bit about the toss and the serve, saying that it looks like he's throwing the ball into the paddle.
Let
gets the job done with a serve and attack.
Just
5-9.
mixing it up, keeping the serve short, then following up with a nice deep serve.
So 10-5. Kanamitsu Koyo pulling away here.
And there's the power.
7-5. Game.
Wipes it out with a forehand to win 11-5.
Another 10 points in the Fantasy League.
Yeah.
Make that 20. I have
wonder-
to talk
do
to
we know- do we
Roger
know if-
about making sure he's available for
Yeah.
more matches when we choose him.
I don't know if Evan has him in his lineup.
No
I
chance.
haven't checked. I haven't checked it.
I know Evan's lineup and his choices were very interesting, to say the least.
Okay.
I told him I didn't know any of the players.
He's got a team of free agents. So Koyo back to the bench with Matthias Harbison, coach of the Princeton Revolution. Enjoy that chick. Back over to Luba Sadovska, with of course the all ever-present input of Nikhil Kumar.
Spinners much more quiet right now. They tended to be much more, especially with Johan. He's got his headphones on. It looks like he's getting ready for action.
Princeton Revolution have moved back into the lead now, 6-5. It's been a pretty closely contested team match so far. All three matches so far going 2-1.
And Koyo still having difficulty with the serve.
One, all. One.
And not able to make that counter. Koyo is really a technically consistent player. Saw him in the beginning make a few unforced errors, but he seems to have cut them down a lot more.
But a lot of points have been just like that, where Koyo is not really even sure what's going to come over. So he backs up.
Yeah, he has backed up from the table quite a lot. It's not really where he wants to be, but then also when you have incoming timing that's quite awkward, it can be hard for him to play the counters that he wants to play.
Because his fine tuning is so good, he's expecting heavy spin, much lower. Lapchek mixing it up. That's a nice forehand combination there by Lapchek.
Good readjustment against that net ball as well with the timing.
Three, 5, exchange ends.
So the players switch ends, it's 5-3. Kanemitsu Koyo continuing his run here for the Princeton Revolution.
Wow. Great return of serve. Just ripped it. Got a soft return, ripped it off the end.
And again, I just think the counter pace is not right for him. 5-5 now.
It looks like
Lapchek ties things up.
He's ready for a ball to come over. It may be like 50 miles an hour, and it's more like 30.
Right.
He's starting his backswing, and the ball still hasn't reached the top of the bounce yet.
6, 5.
Lapchek putting everything in that one.
5,
And then you can see when he speeds it up, Koyo is so much
Koyo's
more comfortable.
Exactly, more comfortable.
The faster the ball goes, the quicker Koyo can find the open court. So if I'm Lapchek, I slow it down. I just start throwing in more monkey wrenches and change it up and never give Koyo a chance to play two balls at the same pace. Trailing 7-5, it'd be nice to serve an ace.
6, 7.
Definitely didn't see that coming. That was
Neither did Koyo.
just perfect down the line ace.
And again, gets the opening. Koyo reaching for the ball, and we're tied up at 7. And the spinners would love to take a quick game to even this up.
And Koyo sends the ball long.
If I'm Lapchek and I'm serving at the end, I'm thinking about that down the line serve one more time.
Why not, right?
Such a difference in the coaching sides. Koyo just scratching his head, thinking, what's going on?
I mean, when you're a player of Koyo's caliber, having to take a timeout here is, I mean, he's one of the leaders of this team when it comes to playing level and background. Certainly doesn't want to be. And there's the one ace serve down the line.
Then from a different angle, just
call a taxi. I mean, or an Uber, whichever
yeah,
one you want.
I was going to say.
Koyo has just struggled.
7, 8.
Struggled with the pace. So let's see what happens here after the timeout. I would say on a couple of occasions, Koyo's been in a position to win matches 3-0, and he hasn't. It's kind of been a little bit of a recurring theme almost. But right now, this is a really tight team tie. He needs to collect points for his team. Gets it with the short game.
9.
Reclaims the lead after the timeout.
And if I'm Lapchek, I'm serving it out. I'm not going to try to beat Koyo at a short game. He's just too strong. Of course, he'll miss the occasional ball. That's slightly better there. But look at the power by Koyo.
10,
Just
8.
jumping on that ball. But
Lapchick
waiting.
actually held his own quite well until he backed even further off. And Koyo just clean misses that back. He just has a smile on his face. I mean, what else can you do in that situation? He has to close out here. Doesn't want to go to golden point with Lapchick serving, and he does.
11-9.
11-9, a really close margin there. Honestly, if it had gone to 10-10, I think he would have been in serious danger of losing that third game, but he takes all three. Koyo Kanemitsu handing Princeton Revolution the lead here with a 3-0 win.
We've got some questions for Koyo, just basically on the timing issues, if that was what was going through his mind, as well as how did he stay focused, because it seemed like he was missing the easy balls. Everyone's had to deal with that who's played in any type of organized matches, so we'll get
He's
Koyo.
already smiling. The bench is laughing. He's coming for his interview. He's got the team owners on the sideline there. Koyo, congratulations on the 3-0 win. It kind of got closer and closer as the match went on, but it really seemed like you struggled when he was playing slow.
Yeah, because I want to kill every ball. I see the ball so easy, you know. Then I miss that, and after I get rush on that.
So what is your advice to other players when they're dealing with different timings? Be more patient, be more aggressive. What was going through your mind?
Yeah. Okay, when I take 2 sets already, then I think I can play more for fun and aggressive, but yeah.
We talked a little bit about this. You've been in some situations where you might have been able to win matches 3-0, but you tend to win 2-1 quite a lot.
Yeah.
So are we going to see a little bit more, more 3-0 wins from you in the second half of the season, maybe into 2024?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good stuff, Koyo. I know you're actually leaving us now. You have some other matches to play over in Austria, so good luck with those. And before that, we'll see you in the Golden Game anyway.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job, Koyo. I love how open he is, where he's just like, you know what? When I'm up 2-0, just love to have a bit of fun. Well, you know what they say. Sometimes there's such thing as too much fun. But he did get the job done in the end. And now we go into the fourth singles, the fifth and last individual match. Princeton Revolution 7-5 in the lead. It's Wang Jinshen, the control spinner, taking on the ever erratic Johan Hagberg, left-hander. Great high toss serves, big forehand follow-ups. Hagberg had a fantastic win here against Ojo yesterday.
Played extremely well.
And
Ojo.
Jinshin saved the Princeton Revolution in the
golden point.
Yeah, in the
golden game.
Yeah. So starting things off with a net ball. And
Low. One. One, three.
So Johan, lefty, as you said, Matt, great serves, a lot of power. He's been dealing with that injury that he suffered out on the West Coast. He said he's still taking some medication to help deal with the pain, but he's going to have it checked out when he's back in Sweden this next week. And he's just come out really hitting his marks. That last ball caught the edge.
certainly fought through it incredibly well. He's managed to perform.
Oh, look at that.
5-1.
Hagberg is such a shot maker. You're not going to see him build a point, move it around. He's going to go for a winner as quickly as he can. Loves to swing. And his serves, as you said, the high toss serve really sets things up for him.
5, 2.
Misses over the ends. A couple of stray balls at the back of the court there on Hagberg's side. Ball kids enjoying the match a bit too much.
Need a couple of hands to pick them all up. But Wang Jinshin seems to have some issues just kind of timing what Hagberg's doing. He likes to play with a little bit of placement and control. When he goes into that keep it on the table mode, almost coaching, that's when he's had the most difficulty here in Major League Table Tennis. So when he goes full offense, we've seen the best results from him.
Wang Jinshin did win the US Open in 2015. Beat Adrian Cresson in the final. So, certainly a player that's performed at higher levels before.
But Hagberg just a master of the left-handed angles. And he's stepping around, just not sure which direction he's going to go.
Wang Jinshin having no problem against that serve receive.
Oh, what a great backhand by Wang. Hagberg able to keep the attack going. Somehow Wang just sent it right into his body. That fading forehand flip is something Wang loves to do. He's got to read the spin carefully.
Hagberg just always looking for aggressive attacking options. I think for him that style matchup against a player like Wang Jinshin is to his advantage.
It gives him a little bit more time. And look at that great block. I mean, both these players are delivering some amazing backhands off the bounce. Hagberg's definitely thinking about the interview.
He's always thinking about the interview. I think Hagberg is the only player that actively posts more Instagram stories from his post-match interviews than he does from points in his matches.
He's such a colorful player, and I know
11-9, game finished.
Now living in the Los Angeles area, coaching, doing a great job. Just came down from the teams tournament in DC right before this one. He said he hasn't had a break, so he's going to have a chance to have that leg looked at when he's back in Sweden. But takes game number 1, dramatic fashion, 11-9.
I think one of the things that plays in here, look at that from Andrew Sal on the bench. One of the things that plays in here is deviation. I think Hagberg has a lot of different serve variations that deviate quite a lot, and his forehand attacks, there's a lot of hooking and there's a lot of inside-out shots. Wang Jinshin is good at executing the ball, but most things are generally pretty clean and pretty plain, and I think Johan Hagberg is a player that would like to play against that cleaner style.
And I think with Wang Jinshin as a coach, he would never be coaching a player like Hagberg. I mean, he's never seeing a person playing so many fading and inside hooks and just change of place and then going for big shots. So it's almost like he's playing a ball over the net, not sure what to expect. Hagberg can keep his feet moving so he can take these risky shots. I think he'll continue to do well in this match.
Spinners to serve. Love all. Love, one.
Going for that forehand that lands him on the floor. It's a shot we've seen him play on a number of occasions. Of course, the challenge for him is that if he wants to get a post-match interview,
He's got to win some games. Or
the Seattle Spinners have to win the Golden game. Because there won't be another player interview until the end of the match.
he might sneak in, you never know. Before when Flint, the commission, picks the teams, he could
He's
pop
gonna
up.
rob the microphone.
Left.
So Wang Jinshin bringing things back here. Takes the first 3 points.
And that's a
Just
Washington
effortless
has done that so many times in Major League Table Tennis, where he'll open up, somebody will counterattack it, and then he'll just stick a block.
He's almost walking away after that block. Very close to the edge.
4.
Wang Jinshin just tapping himself on the back of the head.
Reminding himself, get up to the table.
Hagberg losing his knee brace there on that.
You got to loop it pretty hard to lose a knee brace, and
Just kind of constantly ends up with his
5-1.
body on the line during these shots. Seeing the way that he plays and having him then tell us that this was the first time in his career that he's been injured was such a shock to me.
2-6.
So 6-2, Wang Jinshin just remaining steady and reliable.
it's just trying to cut down the angles right now, not let
Yeah.
any big swings.
Yeah, the
7.
kind of short cut on the serve receive and then pressing into the backhand corner a lot. And he's getting just enough, as you can see. Hagberg not able to step around all the way.
Nine.
Tactically, things have shifted here, and Wang Jinshin,
Here comes some.
Jinshin just drops it. Takes it back to the backhand. It's
10.
10 points to 2, and if Wang Jinshin wins this game, and I say if, it's 10-2, so it's likely, then Princeton Revolution will be guaranteed at least a 1-point lead going into the Golden game.
Eleven 3. Game.
He takes it 11-3.
Revolution.
One of the things that played in there was Jinshin did a great job of controlling Hagberg's serves. Just cutting the angles, keeping the ball short. And Hagberg's serve is such an imperative part of his game.
It
Setting up
just
from the serve for the forehand.
Completely disarmed him, so that first attack by Hagberg is going to have to be a controlled opening versus a finishing spinner, 360 often, or at least something that'll send him to the ground. So yeah, Hagberg is going to have to get those feet moving. Otherwise, Wang Jinshin is going to continue just to control the table and the angles. Look at the backhand, so strong.
This would certainly be a big victory for the Revolution. I mean, they need this with Koyo taking off after today. They need to lock this win in. Otherwise, other East Coast teams are going to push ahead.
Players. Third game. Revolution to serve. Love all.
I think if they don't win here in this team tie, the Gold Rush are in a position where they're almost uncatchable now, but I think the Crocs are likely to move ahead. Having their full team lineup here for this cross division could be make or break for playoffs for them.
That was something that the coaches needed to take into consideration during the draft, is asking the players what other obligations, whether it's on the World Tour, national leagues, or national championships, Even with the U.S. players playing in mixed World Team Cups, World Championships, that has to factor in.
Jin Shin making some interesting choices there. Again, goes for the face tap. Kind of always physically reminding himself that he's made bad decisions.
He's got to get up to the table. Again, that block is so amazing. Almost like he's baiting the opponent to counterattack a soft opening so he can take it off the bounce and redirect the ball.
I mean, he knows if he puts pressure on Hagberg's backhand side, even if Hagberg steps around with the forehand, a lot of the time it's not totally balanced and it just leaves the forehand corner and forehand side of the table open. He just continues to play into that backhand wide angle.
And his attacks are so lethal, it's just we don't see him that often. Usually when he's trailing 1 or 2 points is when he's like, oh, I guess I have to attack now. But that 2 shots ago, that flip kill over the table.
For them, yes. 1-5.
Definitely being tall makes it easier to play the short game.
2-5.
Hagberg needs to get back into this game and tie it up.
5-3.
Shane goes for that heavy spin opening. It was a little bit slower. Hagberg got on top of that straight away. Closes to within 1. I thought initially a good start from Wang Jinshin, but Hagberg's fighting back.
6. Five, 6. 6 all.
Hagberg getting a lot of free points off of his serve.
Jinshin with the quick counter. It's really where he gets his pressure from, not necessarily from playing big, powerful shots, but sometimes playing earlier in the bounce.
Nice deep push to the middle by Hagberg. With those longer strokes, Wang has a bigger target right in that transitional area. And Hagberg with the serve at 7-7. And there's that side spin hooking forehand. And Hagberg with the lead in 1 more serve.
This is the difference between a 1-point head start and a 3-point head start. Hagberg has an opportunity here to help his team out at the start of the Golden Game.
7-9.
Big forehand this time from Wang Jinshin. Tries to get in again.
Last point got everyone on the team standing.
Look up there from Hagberg to check the lights for the high toss.
What a wall. Wang Jinshin just, Hagberg had the ball he wanted, but unfortunately,
there's
he went
so
into
much
the backhand.
So much psychology at play here now on where he might hit the next ball. Hagberg gets the job done.
Match to spinner.
What a great point to finish it off on. Jinxing Wang able to keep that ball in play multiple times. Hagberg thinking, what do I need to do to score? But he kept it on the backhand side. Finally, the last ball misses the back edge. And Hagberg places himself in a situation where if the spinners can win the golden game, we'll definitely have him back for action.
Yes, I think he deserved it. So 8-7, Princeton Revolution in the lead. They will have a 1-point head start going into the golden game. Had 5 great individual matches. Starting off with Nikhil Kumar's solid performance against Evgen Prishepa. Redeemed himself from yesterday, a well-rested Nikhil Kumar back and energetic. Andrew Sao rescued himself from a potentially difficult situation against Nishant Labaka, the free agent, who had an amazing start in this match. A few tactical changes. Andrew Sao got back on track. The doubles, I think a great combination pairing from Prishepa and Angela Guan to give Princeton the advantage. The next matchup was a 3-0 win that got gradually closer from Koyo Kanemitsu. And then in the end, Hagberg closed the gap to just 1 point. And that could be a decisive factor going into the golden game. Now we head down to the court to MLTT Commissioner Flint Lane as the coaches pick their order for the golden game.
Okay, we've got the Princeton Revolution leading 8-7. You'll start with a 1-point lead. Seattle, first pick is yours. Johan is your number 1. Who's your number 1, coach? Koyo, who's your number 2, coach? Jinshin is your number 2. Nikhil is your 2. Who is your 3? Andrew Sao is your number 3. Coach, your 3. Yevgen Prishepa is your 3. Who's your 4? Nishant Labaka is your 4. Andrei Lapchek is your 4, making Yasiris your 5, making Angela Guan your 5. Good luck, coaches.
Well, some interesting changes there. The Seattle Spinners put Hagberg out first. He was running hot at the end of his last game. Not a bad decision. Princeton Revolution have put Koyo out against him, probably in the hopes that Koyo will be able to handle the pace better than perhaps Jinshin was. Jinshin will play Nikhil Kumar. Prishepa against Andrew Sao could be interesting. Labaka will take on Lapchik. If Lapchik plays too soft, he's going to end up in trouble against the short pips forehand. And then Angela
wow, Koyo jumping on the high toss tomahawk, just going for the winner.
And he is pumped
wow,
up.
I've never seen Koyo this.
No game 3 mentality here from Koyo. He means business. Takes the sweep.
Wow, that is
3
amazing.
points for Koyo, and Princeton Revolution get off to an outstanding 4-0 start here.
This is going to be an interesting matchup right here.
The man has so many different gears.
Love 4.
Right now, the stable Wang Jinshin is going to take on the disruptive Nikhil Kumar. Kumar needs to put the spinners on the board here.
He got a net ball and then gave a fist pump. That's awesome.
Always quicker to say sorry than he is to fist bump, but not by much. Jinshin gets over the table.
Oh, Jinshin with a great step around backhand. So difficult to gauge where he's going with his forehand loop.
2-6. Next player.
Kumar takes one back, and they get an even split, 2 points each. Now Andrew Sau will take on Evgen Prishepa, and
let's see if the serve return that
as
Andrew had pointed out is something he's working on, if he can get that working to his advantage.
2-7.
looks back at the bench. Prishepa's experience totally different than an American youth player. Andrew's had really good results against the other US youth
It
players.
looked like that ball might have caught the edge of Prishepa's backhand. Risky shot there, letting the opponent open up. Right now, Prishepa is in sweep material. And he is able to take all 4 points. This is going to be an interesting matchup right here. Spinners need to get some momentum to get back into the game.
2-11.
Excellent play by Lapchek, getting his forehand in. Nishant needs to build the point. And look at that forehand smash. So clean. Just great placement, good follow through. And went for it again.
4-12. Next player.
And now we've got the ladies. Will Angela Guan throw out some new shots? Will she play safe?
It's a secret, Sean. It's a secret.
Looks like she's backing up a little bit. Yasiris with a very heavy opening loop.
She has a reasonable amount of experience playing across the Caribbean and in Pan American events in particular for the Dominican Republic. And Guan flips the racket over and comes in for the backhand punch.
So Yasiris takes both points on her serve. Oh, goes for the quick little backhand opening. Seems Yasiris has such a short backhand push, and then that forehand's explosive. That time catches the edge of the paddle.
Next player, please.
And they split 2-2. Both players holding their serve.
6-14.
And at this stage, with this scoreline, a 2-2 split from Angela is more than good enough for them. Koyo continues.
15.
Talk about a sweep in the singles, and now he's won 5 points in a row.
Goes a little bit long on that one.
15,
Hagberg with a bit of a float serve variation. Koyo just leaving no room for margin here. And he takes 3 out of 4.
Next
Wow,
player.
what a performance here.
Koyo, this is Koyo's parting gift to the Revolution as he heads off to Austria after that. This will be his, potentially his last point for the weekend.
7-17.
Spinners with Kumar need to fight back here.
7-18.
That's one of the challenges with Nikhil. If he has to overplay to win a number of points, he's at his best when he's mixing it up. Nice service change right there. Split on his own serve. He needs to take both of these right now. backhand loop off the
20.
bounce.
Next player,
And
please.
a big lead here and plenty of opportunities to finish the job for the Princeton Revolution.
20.
Evgen Prashepa could be the man to do it. He takes one of these next 4. And he gets the first one. Evgen Prashepa wins the point. It's the Princeton Revolution that continue the solid run of the East Coast and win their second match here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. A little bit more breathing room today than yesterday.
And what a performance of Koyo, just getting the job done, sweeping singles, which we thought he might, but then playing so big right out of the box against Hagberg.
So in the end, it's a 14-7 win for the Princeton Revolution. This will go a long way towards their efforts to try and push back up the table on the East Coast. And we're going to head down and have a chat with Princeton Revolution coach Matthias Harbison. Matthias, you had a great performance in Chicago a month ago. You seem to be on the right track here. What things are really working well for the team right now overall? I know you do a great job of preparing the team before with some multi-ball and some different training, but how do you feel about how the team's performing, and what do you think's helping make that difference?
Yeah, I mean, it helps a lot that I know the players a little better by now, because before the season started, some of them were almost unknown to me. At least how they are acting during the match, and yeah, how they are playing against specific opponents. We had some weekends by now of playing, and now I can analyze everything better. I mean, maybe these are the little difference in between. I mean, I cannot tell you the tactical sides. That would be stupid now on camera. But yeah, I think this is a key point. Yeah.
It's okay, Matthias. You can tell us afterwards when the live stream's on.
Yes.
Yeah. So Matthias, it seems like every team is battling to find that doubles pairing that really is solid, that work together as a team. It looks like Angela and Prashepa did a nice job. They, of course, lost the third game, but the first 2 they were so solid. So are you thinking that, you know what, Angela doing much better with Prashepa than she has with, it seems like she's played with everyone else on the team?
Yes, obviously, yes, because that's why I put them together. Yeah. There are also some tactical reasons for sure. There is just one thing, Prashepa is used to play with girls who are defending, so this is also, I think, an advantage. It's not that easy to play with in general, to play with a defender doubles as an attack player. So yeah, that's also one of the reasons why I put them together at the end.
And one quick thing as well, obviously you picked up a free agent for this match. You had Nishant Labaka, who's a young player from the East Coast, short pips forehand. How did you feel? You know, a lot of the free agents come in here feeling a lot of pressure in this new environment. So how did you feel about his performance today?
No, his performance was very good. I mean, comparing to his, you know, to his level. I mean, he performed, I think, almost like 90 to 100% of his level, and this is a very good sign for his future, because it's very difficult in such an atmosphere to play almost everything you can. And yeah, there are a lot of things to improve for him for sure. But I will have a talk to him. Maybe I can help him a little bit for the future, even if I'm not a daily coach. But maybe he can take something from here with him to the daily practice with his coaches and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he would absolutely get a lot out of that. Congratulations, Matthias. Another great win for the Princeton Revolution.
Thank you. I must take care that I'm not getting arrogant now. I mean, no, it's a good feeling to win, and I was looking forward to have an interview again.
Well, hopefully we'll have another one back with you again this weekend. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And so, by special request, I have actually asked for a short interview here, or a little conversation with one of the Princeton Revolution owners. It's Roger Kang. Roger, we've actually been talking about you up here. Don't worry, it's nothing good. We've just been talking about the Princeton Revolution's kind of team vibe and the fact that you've been here at every single match so far, you know, compared to some of the ownership of other teams, you know, maybe they're putting a little bit more pressure on their players. What has been important for you? Because your guys always look like they're enjoying themselves. I know the team was out in the gym last night quite late, and you said to me the only important thing for you is that the players are enjoying themselves. So what's the philosophy that you think is keeping these guys together as a great team?
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, one thing that we're focusing on is to support our players. You know, whether they win or lose, it's to support them and to remind them that they're part of our team. I think we have a really good team spirit. Everybody is working really well together, and they really care about the team as a whole. You know, so that's really good to see. It's really just I'm so passionate about the sport, and I'm showing up just because I love it. Right, I love watching it. It's less stressful when I show up to the West Coast events because then I'm more of a spectator and
less skin in the game.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, these matches that I'm present at, where my team's playing, it is so stressful, but so in a good way.
A lot of the fans are asking, with one of the minority owners of the team, Dima, have you been in close communication with him on the team, and has he been able to offer any advice to help keep this nice vibe going in the right direction?
Oh, definitely. I speak to him regularly. He's really passionate about this. He loves that. That we're trying this, right? That Flint is trying a U.S. professional league. He's really interested in this. He hopes to come participate more after the Olympics. He gives us feedback on a regular basis, so he's definitely really passionate about it.
And of course, you've been at every match and you've had your phone out there. I know you have an absurd amount of content hanging around in the cloud. When are we going to see some of this content posted?
You know, I keep telling myself on the flight back I'll edit some of the videos, but it's piling up. I probably have like 80,000 photos in my phone now.
Yeah, it really is stacking up. Well, congratulations to the team and to you, Roger, and get your racket ready because we have a break here and I'm ready to deal to you.
All right, it's on.
All right, well done. Thanks. So let's take a look at the team standings. So right now, the Florida Crocs are taking on the Texas Smash over on table 2. So they don't have a match update yet, but the Princeton Revolution have moved back up from the bottom of the table. Of course, the Chicago Wind has one match today, I think. So there's still some wiggle room there. The Carolina Gold Rush are just really pushing up. The Seattle Spinners have managed to move to tie themselves in first place, but again, Bay Area yet to play. Right now, the Texas Smash are in on the precipice, really. So they need to make an impression in their match against the Florida Crocs. As I said, that's going on over on table 2 on the Adamcast on Adam Bobro's channel. So if you want to check out that action, be sure to head over there.
You know, it just seems like continuing on the West Division, everything's possible with the tied up at the top, but more matches to go on. Of course, Texas has a chance right now to do some damage with the Crocs as they're going back and forth in the Golden Game.
Yeah, I mean, remember the important thing here is that 2 teams from each division will advance to the playoffs, so these crossover matches are crucial. And Princeton Revolution getting a second win in here is a really big deal for them. They have to push up closer to the Florida Crocs. Otherwise, they're not going to have a chance to make the playoffs. But I thought they did a great job. They brought a great team, particularly strategy going into the Golden Game. The change-ups that they made there, I think, were really logical. A very well thought out plan from Matthias Harbison. I think, again, Koyo stepping up in the Golden Game was quite a spectacle. And yeah, I mean, just a fantastic play. Hagberg, he did such a great job of trying to keep the Spinners alive, but unfortunately not able to continue through to the Golden Game. Sean, it's been a fantastic match. It's only the first match of the day here. We have 2 more rounds at 4 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll see more great team clashes between the East and West divisions here at Major League Table Tennis in Rock Hill, South Carolina.